broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right.
The clouds are lit like tangerine. Tonight we're looking pretty and mean. Rock and loaded, ready to roll. Stay with us, 'cause we're out of control. There's a great time.
Out of control, to say the least.
Get our snaps in.
Hey, guys.
What's up, everybody? All right. That's enough for me.
Enough, yeah.
I seriously like Christy's move over there. It was just,
I was voguing it up. There were some moves.
That was for you,
Travis Payne.
Right. That was seriously on, ladies. Man.
Even we had different choreography this week.
Yeah, we did. And we were voguing it, and we were twerking it, and doing a little J setting back here.
Yeah.
Right. All right, well, what is up, Dance Moms Junkies? Well, welcome to tonight's recap of our most favorite and controversial drama-filled dance show for Dance Moms After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. We are excited that you are here with us again. We really appreciate your support for Season 5, Episode 23. We are going strong. As you can see, it is Ladies' Night again. Woo! Yeah! Woo! And we love ourselves some Tony Moore, but he is out tonight, so shout out to you, Tony. Whoop, whoop.
Hey, Town.
Yeah, so we're going to hold it down. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please go over to youtube.com/AFTERBUZZ TV. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, keep the comments coming. We love the support. Lots and lots of support. You can tweet
Appreciate
us.
it.
Yeah, at #ABTV Dance Moms. And good evening, everyone. You can tweet me directly at Candice_Camacho. It's my pleasure to be here. And of course, I would not want to recap this on my own in any way, shape, or form. And thank goodness I am joined by two lovely hosts myself.
That would be 48 long minutes.
Yeah.
We wouldn't leave you hanging like that, girl. Don't worry.
I was just thinking, like, that would be terrible. Like, I would have my own opinion, and the fans would be like, bah, bah, bah.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, great to see you. Oh my gosh, we're so glad to be back on this Wednesday night, aren't we? I'm J2 Snyder on Twitter. That's me.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm
What
Christy
you got?
Olson. You can tweet me at Christy Reports. And we've got our bright colors. And I just noticed we're
Boom.
also doing this whole lip gloss matchy thing.
Yes.
We are like all in sync.
But I didn't get the memo. I'm like the Black Widow over here. You know, I only have so many bright colored shirts, to be honest with you.
It's like the girl group and then like the lead singer standing out.
Yeah.
I feel like, right?
Wow.
You're like the Maddie. It's okay.
I'm doing my new Travis Payne choreography with,
Yes.
getting the elbow and the wrist into it. I was doing my best.
Oh, hey, speaking of Mr. Travis Payne, we have a cool photo of him. He's got
we?
some hot daddy photos on his website.
Oh.
Yes. Did you guys know that one of the first things he did was choreograph for Janet Jackson tour back in the 80s?
Yeah, I did. I looked him up. I did look him up. He's done a lot of stuff. So the ALDC girls had a great opportunity to work with him. So that was cool.
And as a dancer, he danced for Prince.
Well, of course he did.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the heyday.
Among other people, yeah. And it said he danced for Madonna as well.
Yeah, and Michael Jackson, choreographer for This Is It.
Got some stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Write a memoir, please, Travis Payne.
I loved his energy, and I looked him up, and he also choreographed for Coyote Ugly. And I have to disclose that I worked at Coyote Ugly in Las Vegas for a long time. Yeah, it's funny.
Candice, that's so cool. So I get these such fabulous, like, super glamorous little tidbits from you, like Dancing with Bette Midler. And now she was a coyote everybody.
Okay, I've got, not to upstage you, I've got a Coyote Ugly story as well.
Okay. Uh-oh.
So I had a really small role in the movie. It was my first role in a movie. I got my SAG card in that movie. And I was like a businesswoman who like tore her shirt open and I kissed the main guy up on the bar in the movie.
Wow, like you were the one that got crazy.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I feel like I do.
That was,
yes.
Remember that little part?
Yeah.
That was me.
That's awesome, JJ.
Did
That's
you
fantastic.
rip your stuff off?
Oh no, honey, it was already ripped off. I had my half top on, my cut off jeans, my clogging shoes on. This was all pre-baby, of course. We got on the microphone. We gave shots.
Did you sing?
No, I just would yell at people.
Oh, but you do the thing where you pour the liquor in people's mouths?
I poured the liquor and then.
Oh my goodness.
Funny story, really quick. I also got to bartend, and we, as bartenders, we used to take that soda gun and like spray everybody with water. You guys, I did it with cranberry juice one night. Holy, like,
but the
buttons are right next to each other on the gun.
I mean, C and W, you know.
Oh my gosh. So, Christy, do you have a Coyote Ugly story or a story of yourself dancing on the bar?
I worked at a play. No, but I did work at a place that was quite ruckus, and we did the cut-off shirts in that business. It wasn't quite Coyote Ugly, but there was a mechanical bull there.
Oh,
and it was yeah. So I know about Rowdy.
I know about
porn
on that mechanical bull.
I like that. Are you good at bull riding?
No, I never. That was my thing. Was that I refused to ride the bull.
Oh, I would have been all
I was known for keeping my teeny weeny bit of dignity there at the Saddle Ranch.
that was your. Were you the Saddle Ranch here?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that place. Amazing wings.
But I fear a little bit that we've lost our audience here because I'm not entirely sure that they even remember Coyote Ugly or were even alive when it came out.
And let's get back to the show.
I don't want to age us or date us.
And so we digress.
Yeah, but I would like to know if they know that anymore. Because if you guys don't and you're into the dance and this dance stuff, you have got to see Coyote Ugly.
You've got to see it. It's so fun.
And then you'll have even more questions for Candice.
Just ask us, tweet us. So before we get into it, we got to talk about our Podcast One survey.
Yeah.
So we love hearing from you guys. So keep your tweets coming. Go to Podcast One, do a survey, and then you can feel good about yourselves that you helped us get better. And we appreciate all of your feedback. So podcast1.com. Go ahead and take it now.
I did that quiz this week, and it did take like 5 minutes.
Oh, great.
Okay. And there's a chance to say, I like AfterBuzz TV, so we'd appreciate if you did.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
All right, girls. So we are here for Ladies' Night. It is season 5, episode 23. Maddie versus Mackenzie. Dun, dun, dun. We knew that the day would come that the two, sisters would be going head to head. It's not a surprise, but it was kind of exciting. It was kind of a cool twist. They're at the 3rd Street Dance here in Los Angeles. Abby is present. It kind of opens. The mom's walking in. Abby is on her cell phone watching the number because she wasn't there, and she says the comment because Nia was the featured dancer, and she says that when Maddie is featured, she can't take her eyes off Maddie, but when Nia is featured, it does nothing for her. So I thought that they won. I thought that was not true at all. I thought Nia did a great job. I just was like, more of the same stuff.
I was so tired. This episode, I don't know what it is, you guys. I hit a wall with the drama part.
That's where I was last week. I don't blame you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you're over it now. You're ready for more.
Yeah, a little bit. This episode was a little better, but when it started out with this and Nia, I kind of thought, here we go again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just a very low ball because they won. You can't say anything bad about winning first place at a competition like that in California. It just you don't make any sense.
What's wrong with you, Abby?
Yeah. So Nia, we back to our pyramid, which started out very negative.
Yeah,
as it does.
And Nia spoke up for herself.
She did. And she actually said, if I would have had more opportunities, maybe I would have done better. And she said it just like that. And take that. So I was proud of her for that. She got 5th on her solo, so she's in the bottom of the pyramid.
Yes.
Yeah, JoJo was late, so she's next. And then Maddie's on the bottom of the pyramid because she didn't stand out in the group number.
It was such a surprise.
Weren't you surprised that Abby didn't just make up an excuse as to why she should be on the top? Like
she usually does, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm surprised that she didn't say like, Maddie, even though you weren't featured, my eye went to you and you're at the top of the pyramid. I was like surprised that she actually said that to her.
I think it's because Abby was legitimately disappointed that Maddie didn't stick out in the group number, if that's how she felt. You know, that's what she expects, and she's not happy. She's not happy if Maddie's not drawing all the attention to herself.
That's right, and neither is Melissa.
I don't try to make any sense of that woman. She's a little bit fickle, so I have no comment.
Which one?
Abby. Just in terms of her placement of Maddie in the pyramid. It's like, oh, okay, all right, Abby.
It was kind of cool because it was an interesting twist. Like it was something new that I'll take that, you know, because other people deserve their spot at the top too. So next up, we've got Mackenzie because she took corrections. Her leg was straight on her penché, and Kendall up next because she had her amazing premiere. So good job for Kendall. And then Kalani was at the top, and I was like, yes, she was so beautiful. So she very deserving.
Yes, very deserving, and the dance was fantastic, and she won first place, but I thought Abby would make a bigger deal out of the fact that Kalani had forgotten a large portion of her dance.
That's right.
Almost
She
the
didn't.
last half by her own admission. So I was kind of surprised that Abby just glossed over that, because it seemed like something that she would harp on.
I think she just decided to go with the first place trophy and concentrate on that instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, she chose to nitpick so much with Nia and stuff, and I just thought, wow, if that's where we're going with this, she's definitely going to get on Kalani from forgetting the choreography.
Right.
But that's not.
I felt like Kalani is one of like on the favorite meter. Kalani is like much more on the more favorite side of the meter than the other girls. So, and I've been kind of shoving that favoritism thing like under the rug for a while, but now it's just, I mean, it's been blatantly obvious for a while, but it's just, you know, different things like that come up throughout the episode where I'm like, okay,
Well, and Jesselyn keeps pointing it out to us.
She does too. She does. So Jill and Kendall won't be there this week. They have, I love Jill. We have, now before you begin, we have a family commitment. It's like so cute.
And my guess is that was Kendall's sister's high school graduation.
Yeah.
I believe when they were here, they had just been back home for a really quick trip that they told us about on a Saturday for the sister's graduation, and that the timing would work out. So I assume that was maybe what it was for. So
yeah,
definitely necessary.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Did you guys notice this? I felt like too, because Jill's usually such a strong voice, but I did notice like Jess had some really funny things she said this week. So it sort of gave like a little bit of room for some of the other moms to step forward.
Yeah.
And even Kira had a couple sound bites that were like, kind of biting. I was like, dang, girl.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they usually go to Jill for that.
Yeah,
I feel
they do.
Yeah. It was nice to hear from the other moms.
Yeah.
Okay, so the girls are heading to Center Stage this weekend for their competition in Anaheim. The solos, Mackenzie's got a solo sink or swim.
Little acro jazz action.
And Maddie's going to be tapping for her solo. She was awarded a solo, so that's pretty neat and exciting. And then JoJo, Rebel Without a Cause. So I guess she is a rebel without a cause. And the big kicker is that they're all competing against each other. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
Does anyone else feel like Maddie's been the same age for like 3 years?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right? I just feel like she's been 12 for like 3 seasons.
I watched a little bit of that fan favorite show after this, and then one of the little blurbs said, Maddie's so cute. I want one. I want to put her in my pocket. Like she's so like, she's like this big when she first started. So she is tiny.
So cute.
I was thinking when we get to her solo, I want to comment too on her age, because she's such a maturity though about her, even though she's like perma 12.
Maybe they're lying.
But she's such a
Maybe she's really 17 and she's been 12.
I like
for
that.
5
She's a
years.
perma 12. Can I be
12?
a perma something?
yeah, like 26. Let's just all decide that. This is how it's going to be.
Well, moving on. Again, okay, we've talked about Travis Payne. He's their guest choreographer, which is really exciting. He has an assistant with him, Aisha Francis. They're doing a piece called Beautiful Bazaar, which is kind of the what we talked about, the J setting, the broken elbows and the wrists and different stuff like that.
Yeah, and Abby's actually willing to relinquish a little bit of control to this guy for once.
Yeah, well,
I was surprised.
Right, she says she's going to give him full reign. And I really liked how the rehearsal was just, he started out with them just walking. And because you have to know how to walk, because walking should be just as important as like a triple pirouette into a big leap. And they didn't get it at first, but then you saw them like getting it and like getting the attitude and getting how to walk. So
Yeah, this wasn't just any walk.
right. This was like, I kind of want to do it right now. Like,
Do it!
Okay, no.
I would love to see it.
You know what? But this was that kind of dance, right? That made you want to get up. I actually, when they did the move where the whole arm came around and the foot kind of
Were
came
you
out the
doing
other
it?
side, I was like, I got to try that. Can we? I got up, I rolled it back a couple times, and I'm pretty sure I got it
Should
down.
we try it? We can
you
just
know
do
what?
this.
I think we're just confined. We're just too confined.
Okay, someday. You know what I noticed right away about him that I loved, even in the rehearsal, is that he came in, it was like watching a different version of Abby that we'll never see. Like, he came in with a really positive attitude.
Yeah, he did.
And kind of was like, hey, gals, this is what we're doing, and this is what you can be, and this is, like, he had this great attitude, and it was such a change. I just almost didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, he gave them
different mood in that room.
He gave them the opportunity to grow and to flourish. It was like he planted the seed, and then he's watering them, and then fertilizing them, and then you watch them. Like, even the moms in the viewing room were like, they're having fun, and that was like great, I thought. And then we moved to the section where Abby is pulling out her hairpiece.
Oh, yeah. That was lovely.
So she has this whole crown
Oh, no.
out of her. She pulls it out and she's like. Now I have to.
Hilarious.
I will say I used to have hair extensions myself before pregnancy. My hair wasn't as lush, and I would pull those suckers out and I would comb them.
Sure.
But in the car,
Right.
and
Sure.
in privacy,
I think Abby's paying for the studio space. She's paying the choreographers. She's the star of all this. If she wants to sit there and comb her weave in front of everybody.
Hey, here's
I
my
like that she
theory.
doesn't care about looking crazy. I can respect that, right?
I had curlers on in the car on the way here, and that's just, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
Did you get any beeps or funny looks?
I did get a funny look. I went into Starbucks, which was kind of pushing it, and I got a lot of funny looks. Yeah, and then, but
good way to get
inevitably, I
attention
get
if you want
one woman who comes up to me and goes, "Oh my God, I love that. My grandma used to do that," or something like that. So,
well, it's LA. I mean, you're going to.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
Okay, here was the thing. Can we talk about the hair? Because I didn't mind she did it.
Yeah.
But then I know I'm jumping ahead, but I really felt for Maddie during the solo because I didn't think the hair was moving very well.
No, I mean it was very.
Well, it's a little gross to have someone else's, like, you wouldn't have taken your extensions when you were done combing them and given them to me to clip into my hair.
No.
Right? Like,
no.
that's
It's like sharing.
crossing a line.
Toothbrush?
Yeah, it's like sharing something that you. Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe mascara.
Yeah. But Maddie.
It's like sharing mascara.
Maddie has this
Eye
whole
germs.
big head full of gorgeous hair, and if that's not enough hair, then you shouldn't be doing what you're trying to do with this like little cheap piece of hair that this long.
It was kind of bouncing by itself, but it
had a mind of its own.
60. It did. Poor Maddie. Oh my God, the faces she was making. She was putting on. She was like,
Yeah. She was not into it.
But it was the 60s theme. She had to have the.
Yeah, it was. It's just, it was too much. But I did like Jezelin's positivity when the girls were performing and Mackenzie was front and center, and then of course Abby couldn't contain herself and let Travis do the choreography. She wanted Maddie in the center. So Jezelyn pops up and says, Mackenzie's a good little dancer, she should be in the front too. So it was nice to see another mom stepping up and being positive to another kid. I like that.
For sure.
I did. Okay, so Maddie already knew this tap number. She'd already performed it before, yet she's getting all the attention while the other two haven't started to learn their number, which we've seen many times
Over and
before.
over.
Yeah. And then JoJo is I had to rewind it a couple times, but what happened was JoJo was kind of rehearsing over here in a corner. Maddie was up here rehearsing her tap, and then Abby got mad that JoJo was in Maddie's mirror space and messing up Maddie. And so then Abby comes and is asking JoJo about her masterclass that she's posted on Instagram.
Which was really what she was mad about, not the mirror space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this got pretty dirty.
Yeah, so JoJo apparently posted on her Instagram, come and see me at my master class at such and such time. And then Abby says, be careful what you're saying because you're not a master yet, basically. And, you know, I guess you just have to hand it to JoJo because she's one of those people who she doesn't care and she's in this situation and she's going to take advantage, like whatever she can do, like that time that she called somebody and got free jeans or a free top. And, you know, I was like, you may as well, you know.
Well, her and her mom has a lot to do with planning it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But she had a really interesting expression on her face. I mean, she was definitely feeling the heat, JoJo. It wasn't like...
Abby made
A very bad comment
that was really, really just took it, I think, way too far.
So the comment was, just because some kid wants to make a quick buck on the weekend because daddy doesn't make enough money doesn't mean that you can da-da-da-da-da. And that was, I just can't believe she's... I mean, in my interview with her at the ALDC, she was so proud of the fact that she's like, I can make a kid cry on a dime. I can make it happen right now. And that was her total intention, to make her cry. Her intention was to put her down and to make her cry, and she did.
Well, you know what's interesting, like on this panel, is that we're all giving Abby like a unanimous thumbs down on that comment. And just like, it just went too far.
Yeah. No passes this time. I know I make a lot of excuses for
editing.
Abby. This, I think, is very different from like the ear comment. I think this is much, much worse than that. And I think that the fact that Abby would choose to say that, and the moms are always making fun of, just like you just said, JoJo saying she gets things for free. I think we got a little glimpse of a bigger issue here that once I started thinking about it, I thought, you know, think of all the girls with their Louis Vuitton bags that they got seasons ago as a gift. And they've all been on a reality show for 5 seasons. They're all making quite good money. JoJo and Jesselyn aren't at that point yet with the show.
Right.
This made me wonder if there's a lot of situations where JoJo and Jesselyn are in a different position than the other moms and daughters.
Financially.
And, because Abby went for that jugular on purpose. There's something there.
Yeah.
And it definitely pushed a button for JoJo. And she looked so sad. And even just hearing you say that quote again made me cringe.
And regardless of like how true it, and that's an excellent point, and regardless of how true it may or may not be, it's so inappropriate. I can't imagine like coming up with that, letting that, as an adult woman, letting that come out of my mouth, even for like a reality show. Like that was just
it's just
boo.
You never want to, and even though like there's not a lot to be found about the husband, the dad, for it's just so precious and so tender. You never want to go there and hit that nerve with a little kid. It's just, I can't believe that she's not losing everybody, her fans, and then, you know, her sponsorships, like everything, like whatever she's got cooking, like that's was bad.
That's a great point. Like, how far could she go before that sort of like she would start losing sponsors?
I think the fact that the show has always been based on her treatment of the girls and that's been a major point of contention, I think it's too late. I don't know that there's anything she could ever say to justify, you know, 5 seasons of people thinking it's okay.
Well, it doesn't get worse than your comment or this comment. Like, those are really bad.
This was the first time for me that I thought it was really, 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 really awful what she said.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I know you guys are taking her to task on a lot of things she said, especially this season, but this was the first time that I really went, no.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No. And Abby does all these master classes with the girls, and so she's allowed to make the money off of the publicity from the show and people knowing their names. If she isn't inviting JoJo to be a part of those opportunities, why shouldn't JoJo get to go?
Exactly, JoJo's not being invited to all these other opportunities, the scholarship opportunities that are, you know, slipping through her fingers, and so she is going to go and make other opportunities for herself. It's just
you guys,
terrible.
I think in like 20 years, we're going to have a reunion show and see how all these girls have grown up. Like, had they had to go to therapy?
starting to
because this has been, like, this is rough.
I think with Mackenzie, we've got a little Ashley Simpson on our hands, a little Solange Knowles.
Oh, you do?
Kind of a situation, and I think it could get sticky. Yeah, sticky. Well, again, you guys probably don't know who Ashley Simpson or Solange Knowles are either. It's Beyonce's little sister and Jessica's little sister. Google it. They've been through some stuff.
I didn't know the
Because
Beyonce.
of their sister.
I didn't know the Beyonce's little sister.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Ashley Simpson.
Hey, but dang.
Tried to do the same, couldn't do it, sad about it, you know.
Okay.
But Maxie,
off the
wait
deep
till we
end.
get to her solo, because she kicked
Right.
butt today. So.
Well, on a positive,
be okay.
yeah. On a positive note, Travis had a really great positive scene with Mackenzie. JoJo, and sat down with her and was really positive. So that was taking us from way down here to up a little bit. And I don't want to get into Maddie's new video that was released too much because we've already talked about it. But I did feel like when Melissa's, the new video with Shyla and Maddie have come out. It's already come out. We've talked about it.
They're actually talking on this one about the video
The third?
of Girls Don't Cry, which is just Maddie.
Oh.
And the whole video is just an up close. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. It's just up close, mostly of her face.
Oh,
there is a lot of
okay.
dancing. Yeah,
Okay.
it's that one that they're
It took me a
talking
while to
about.
catch on to that, too. I wasn't
Okay.
sure if it was second or third.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. What did you think about the moms like supporting or not supporting them?
Oh, I thought that little scene where they were criticizing her was horrible. That was part of my frustration with the show today or yesterday.
Yeah.
I was just like,
But by the
stop the
third
criticism.
video of Melissa being like, nope, nobody said anything bad about it.
I mean,
yeah.
of course
Okay, now this is
Yeah.
the third one now.
Yeah.
I know you're reading these comments, girl. Like,
Yeah.
I think they probably just couldn't help themselves to be like, cut the crap. Not everyone loves it all the time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, it's just a little bit overkill.
That's
a
valid.
lot.
That's valid. Yeah. Because
Melissa was. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, they're a little edgy. Those videos warrant a discussion.
Yeah. Well, and we talked a little bit about the parody video of, of the
was
one with
so
Shia LaBeouf.
funny.
Melissa in this scene was giving me the mom from that parody. Remember how they sort of exaggerated her and made her like a crazy stage mom in that video? That's sort of what she was coming across as during this scene.
Oh, that parody
that gave
was
me a
so
laugh.
funny. I really liked that. It was so funny. I don't know.
I get it that she's got to defend her girls, but can't shield them so much because
Don't you don't have to have blinders on. Like, my children are perfect.
Yeah. There's always negativity. Everybody has negativity. Even Taylor Swift has negativity. How could you be negative about her? I mean, she's
I know. How can anyone hate on T Swift?
I mean, she's a perfect Barbie doll. Anyway.
That's the problem.
She's just too
That's
skinny.
what makes people so mad.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just move on to the dances. We are the competition. And JoJo is up with her Rebel Without a Cause. What you guys think of that?
I knew it was going to be good. This was one where you could tell that the choreography was very, very difficult. And both her dances and Mackenzie's made me go, they can't say this time around that they weren't given the choreography. That's worth a lot of points, that has a lot of elements in it. I mean, this dance, you could tell that she was just dancing her little butt off.
Now,
She was.
I kind of had a problem though with. Did you guys notice the music was it was really fast, and I felt like the choreography
Almost
kind of
messy?
it was so fast, the choreography and the music, that I felt like it was almost impossible for her to really hit things clean.
Yeah.
Not to her,
Kinda
like it was
rushed.
over. Yeah, like the whole number was sped up, and I was like, hold on a second. Like, slow this down for her a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
She still got her great facials and stuff in.
she's so great.
But that
No,
couldn't
she
have been
did.
easy with the pace of it.
Yeah, like she never got to hold anything long enough for you to enjoy it. That's how I felt.
Right.
Yeah.
However, did you guys notice this on this one in particular with her little outfit? But there was something really mature about her in this number. I was like, she's like 18 years old right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
really
she's
tall
all
and
dressed
mature.
up,
Yeah.
she looks like a teenager.
Yeah, I felt like she executed it very well. I felt like it was rushed because it was just so fast. It was like, leg up, slam down. It wasn't like leg up, control down. But I felt like the outfit was just inappropriate for her age. Way too inappropriate. I just wanted, she's a little girl. I wanted to see her in something like soft a little bit. You know, she's in a biker outfit that's probably somebody for a Halloween costume for like a 30-year-old, you know, so I didn't like that. And I wanted to see, like, she's so pretty, and she had this, you know, big plastic hat on and like a lot of black, and she had like some kind of black here, which I didn't really get. She executed her choreography well and she performed well, but I didn't really like the whole package, in my opinion. Moving on to Mackenzie. Wow, she was good.
Cute.
Yeah.
So many tricks.
Yeah. So many tricks. Yeah. So young, but so mature at the same time. And like a lot of strength with those tons of tricks. Really age appropriate and really good face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she controlled those tricks.
She did, yeah. And she really surprised me, and I think she surprised herself too, because she really like stepped out there and owned it, because her, you know, her hair and everything was just so cutesy, but she didn't perform in a cutesy manner. It was like, I really loved that whole package. Like, I thought it went well together.
You didn't think she looked like a 7-year-old on the stage, like her mother said?
I thought she looked like a superstar.
Yeah, she did a great job. I rewound a couple times. You guys, there was a trick. It was like 75% through the number, and she did like a punch front walkover and then came out of it like
with her legs straight.
Or she punched into it, and then the legs went. One leg kicked up.
Scissored?
Scissored. Thank you for the terminology.
Floor?
Yeah. She punched into like a front handspring and then scissored. It was It was probably the coolest trick in the whole number. But I just watching it over and over, going, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
And then she's not even out of breath. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was. They still stuck in a couple of those back walkover things, like in the circle. I don't know what they're called.
I kind of love that little move.
Yeah, it's
like the classic Mackenzie.
Yeah, just fit it in, you know. It was funny. It was good. Really, really good. And I think that she surprised everybody. Because in the audience, I was like watching Abby, and she was like fighting the smile and fighting the smile. And then by the end of it, she was like, wow, I've done a really good job with this one. So, all right. And then Maddie's tap number.
Maddie was nervous, she said. She's like, I'm nervous. I got a tap number.
Well, and I love a tap number. I love to tap myself. That was always my favorite back in the day. And this one didn't do it for me, though. I don't know what it was. I kind of went like, well, that was about as exciting as the Sia video.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I wanted to love it.
Oh my God, I loved it. I was totally interesting, because I'm not necessarily in love with tap. I was so fascinated by her little attitude she has.
Yeah.
Like, and back in the studio, Abby was like asking her to put a little more emphasis into her arms, and I just thought there's so much detail. But I wrote down, she had this attitude on her face. Oh, like, I'm too cool. She had this, like, you know her little face she does, like, I'm good, I got this, I'm dancing, I'm totally good. And she just, like, rolled with that attitude through the whole number, and I just thought it was cool.
She did, yeah, but then she didn't, like, push it for me either. She didn't push the envelope, and there wasn't any really high-tech tap routines. Steps in there. Like, she didn't do any like riffs. She didn't do any like turns with, and her taps, they weren't like super clear and crisp, I didn't think. But she doesn't have her tap, and tapping is really hard. I mean, it's really hard to get all of those sounds in there at the right time.
And this was a routine she knew before, and we haven't seen her tap for quite a while, so it's entirely likely that this is a really old routine.
Yes.
You know, so maybe is a little bit more on the elementary side from what she could do now if she were to learn a brand new tap routine.
It seemed out of date for her. It just seemed like the whole go-go thing, it just seemed kind of like she was just restrained or something. I didn't feel like she could really be herself.
That's funny. I don't know, she won me over with it. However, we all pretty much would agree that no one's going to come out and win with a tap number, right?
Well,
I mean,
I wanted to believe it was possible.
Yeah.
it rarely happens
in
because
these
Yeah.
competitions, we're used to seeing the girls.
the judges want to see that technique and the feet and the strength and the turns, and that's what I've always thought that they wanted to see. But she did have a lot of pressure because there is a lot of pressure for her to always win, to always be perfect, to never, like, she's a person, she's not a robot. Like, we're designed to mess up sometimes.
to not have her hair fall out.
Yeah, I was nervous that piece was gonna fall out. So
Oh my gosh, can you imagine what Abby would have said if that had happened? Good thing it didn't.
Did you wear hair pieces in Vegas?
yes, big hats and big hair pieces, and I'd have to
Like the feathers and the whole thing.
yeah.
So fun.
Bring a picture.
Yeah. Oh, please do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta bring a picture.
Also, if you have a little snapshot of your Coyote Ugly days, I'd like to see that as well.
Okay. Okay.
What about mine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you bought it, the grab, screen grab from the movie.
Yes. Got your SAG card. That's very exciting.
And then we'll have to wait till the week when Tony is here and we'll all bring in our old dance pictures.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
From back when we used to tap.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the group number is called.
I took breakdancing.
You did. You took hip hop, breakdancing.
Well, that was big in the late 80s.
It was. Yeah, it's true.
Okay. Beautiful Bazaar. What did we think of that?
Yay!
Yeah, we are on to the group number, and they actually had some spacing numbers. I mean, some spacing issues.
You noticed that too?
I did.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
wasn't sure. It seemed like it was Maddie that was off, but I wondered if that was just the camera angle and the other girls not getting in place next to her.
thought
It ended
it
up
was-
looking like she was the one that was out, but I don't know that it was necessarily her issue.
I'm not sure, but
It was right in the center. So
Yeah.
it was Kaylani on the left and Nia on the right most of the time, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But pretty awesome.
But
number.
minor, yes.
Yes.
Minor criticism because overall, this one was really, really cool
Yeah.
and different.
It was really fun to watch, really fresh. It was really long. I
Yeah.
feel like I got my fix. Nia was like killing it during
Oh.
this routine. But I love the
It
placement.
was JoJo that stood out to me.
Well, I noticed JoJo was late a couple times, one or two times, but that's
I had different moments. I noticed both those guys. JoJo had several moments like right in front of the camera that were amazing. Nia, though, it took me a while to catch on to her, but she was hitting the choreography.
Actually, we're gonna have to go back and watch it
Maxine
again
had a
and
great
just watch
moment.
Nia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like in it, full face, living
Yeah.
in the moment, going for the Olympic gold medal.
I love it.
It was cool. I mean, they had this whole new way of moving, right? This new
Yeah.
choreography, and so we got to see them step into it.
It was
So,
cool.
It was new for us.
Yeah.
The fans know I'm always looking for something that's different. I don't like to see the same thing all the time. And this gave us that was like the epitome of that.
Yeah.
They moved in a completely different way.
And they prove that they can do any style. I mean, they had everything down. It's so precise and in sync with like the wrist movement and the elbow and the angles and the degree that you're pointing. You've got your knee bent. It all has to be the same, and they got it. It was really like
How about that part where they all lined up?
Yeah.
In back of each other too.
Yeah, that was
and
cool.
they're
I liked where they were all sort of at different levels and popping up. There was just so many cool moments. That was it too. That even though you realize once it was over, you're like, that was a long dance. It went quickly because there was so much cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
And the outfits were cool. You guys
Yes.
it was sort of like
with the red.
different,
Yeah.
almost a jumpsuit, right? But modern, like.
Yeah, it was neat.
cool.
It was cool. It was
Yeah.
very cool to see.
And you guys know, and Travis backstage was like so.
Pumped.
He was so. I mean, it was neat to see somebody, as opposed to Abby in the audience.
Pumped for them.
But someone backstage, like really supporting them. It was cool.
He's
Well, and I think anytime you bring in someone that's fresh, that hasn't been to a million competitions over and over with the same people you poop out and it seems same old,
yeah.
and it must just be good to get a new, different kind of energy.
Yeah, I like that.
Did you catch? Sorry, speaking of the audience, did you catch Melissa's facial expression during it? Because she was, her jaw was dropped.
Oh,
They showed
during the group
Abby.
dance?
Yeah, the group dance. I think it was like, wow, I can't, like genuine, like, whoa, I can't believe this is so new. Mm-hmm. But it's worth going back and checking out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, for the awards, back at the awards, JoJo gets 3rd place. And Maddie gets 2nd place, which is very shocking. When you two watched those two perform, did you think that there was a chance that Mackenzie could win? Or did you think that, no, that never happens? I actually thought, no.
I think maybe I've let go of all guessing and predicting at this point.
Yeah. Well, Maddie got 2nd with her tap, and then everybody thought that Mackenzie didn't place, and then she gets so sad, and everybody's holding their breath, and then she gets 1st place. So amazing job. Congratulations. That was awesome.
And some real legitimate reactions that we know happened right then and there.
Right
this is
then
not
and there.
editing. This was Melissa crying, and Abby's shocked face was so good. I mean, I wound this back and just watched it a couple times just
I did
because it was
too.
fun, because they were genuinely excited, and it was real emotion and real surprise. And Maddie and Mackenzie were surprised.
It was cool to be like, okay, they are in it, and this is actually happening. So the group got 2nd. And so backstage, Melissa hugs Mackenzie. She's crying. And then Maddie says, you don't have to cry. This is just a stupid competition.
I hated that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hated that. I really wanted Maddie to handle this with a lot of grace so that everyone could just say, see, there's no jealousy there. See, they're all good. They support each other.
Yeah.
You know, it could be just that. It's just there's so much. Everyone's staring at her. How are you going to react? Your sister just beat you.
That's true.
You just got 2nd. It could be just the focus alone, not even that she genuinely is that bothered by getting 2nd.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I
just
thought,
too
why
many
would
people.
she be bothered at getting 2nd? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, haven't you won first enough, and it's your sister? I mean, why not? You know,
It was a tab number.
Yeah.
I mean,
she would be just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I felt like she was just embarrassed almost with, she does hate to lose, but I just think that she was embarrassed, and it was just so much pressure that she didn't know how to act and what to say. She shouldn't have, in my opinion, reacted in that way, but it's just, I think it was overwhelming to see everybody hugging not her this time.
Yeah.
And it's a good lesson.
And Melissa probably doesn't cry when she wins 1st place anymore, because it's just happened enough times.
Yeah.
You know, so to see her mother that emotional over it, maybe that got to her as well. But I was really, really extra surprised when she said that she said, I deserve to beat her, but whatever.
Yeah,
you know, I thought, okay, you got your one comment in, told her not to cry. And then I thought, no. Like,
Yeah.
We know that Maddie isn't. She's not a nice girl. So I was surprised to see that from her, and it just sort of made me cringe, because I thought, I knew she would get a lot of criticism for that comment.
I'm sure she was getting, and the criticism isn't going to be worth it. You know, she should have just held strong, and but it's just, I think that everybody was just like, like going to her to see her reaction and see what she was gonna do, and it was just so much. And I mean, in a way, I kind of felt for her, because she must have felt like a lot. She was always pressured to win, and then there was that scuffle between the girls and Melissa in the backstage, and then they're telling Melissa to shut up, and I was like, oh. Yeah, and then
It didn't need to end that way.
Yeah,
And then Travis came. I kind of felt bad for Travis. Did you guys, that they didn't win? He came forward and comforted them, and he really took responsibility. Great job, you guys. This was great. 2nd's fine. It reminds us, how grateful we are for 1st. But I felt like he really stepped up, because he was probably a little disappointed.
yeah, he was. I really liked that comment, and I wrote that down, and I'm gonna keep that for myself in my pocket. But yeah, I felt like he was disappointed too. But I just didn't know what to think when Maddie was like, "You're telling me to be happy. I am happy," and we didn't hear Melissa say that, so. But she did take to Twitter and tried to cover up herself, and it was like, it's editing, people, but
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She said that it was edited out of context in a tweet that she delivered last night. And I think she was referring most directly to the comment that she made at the very end
With Jesselyn.
when asked if she thought that Maddie should have beat Mackenzie or likewise.
Yes.
There was a lot of dubbing. There were several lines that were dubbed in the dressing room at the end, too, in addition to her, that I noticed. So, yeah. They were editing.
And that could be to speed it up or to make it look different or
More dramatic.
a lot of things.
So when she said that she didn't think that Mackenzie deserved to beat Maddie, do you think that was edited, or do you think that was really her opinion at that point?
It sure seemed like that's what she said.
Yeah.
I think we're all gotten pretty production savvy at this point.
It seemed like that's what she said. It seemed like she was like devastated that the one.
But she may not have said it at that time. It could have been kind of out of context. I guess that's what she's saying, right?
Right, or she could have been answering no to a little bit differently worded question or from Jesselyn or something, maybe after more prodding, But either way, again, like with Maddie, like, why would you just say anything? Just walk away from that conversation, girl.
Right.
Just walk away.
Just get up and leave.
Yeah.
Get your stuff and
Leave them in that room talking like y'all did Abby last week.
and head on out the door. But both of them are gonna probably be getting some Twitter verses. So, anything else for this episode? No, we got to wrap up.
No, I think that pretty much does it. I know we've got some news and gossip, yes?
Yes, we have some news and gossip.
All right, let's do it. You want to kick us off, girl?
Sure. Well, thank you so much to our beloved viewer, Sarah McCluskey, who tweeted us a video. It's actually from ET Online on June 4th, where Maddie discloses that the reason she lost so much weight was because she's diabetic, which I didn't know. And when she was down in Australia, she got her medication refilled, and it's a different medication in Australia than here. She got violently ill and was throwing up.
Oh, no.
And so that is what she said had led to her weight loss.
Okay.
That was interesting. I know, not a good way to lose weight.
No, and it's maybe that's what kicked it off, but it sure seems like she's trying to lose weight now.
Right.
She's being very successful at it, and she looks fantastic, and she's lost a lot of weight.
She looks really
So maybe
good.
that was the catalyst of it, but they at one point in this episode showed an old interview of her. It was very clear that it was very old, and there's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. When they were advertising that new show, the fan favorite show, there was a big difference.
Yeah.
I would love to see her become more healthy. I think it would be really exciting.
Yeah. Well, she said a few other things in that interview as well that got super, super juicy about the show specifically. And that was that she indicated that she may be quitting the show and let Dance Moms go on without her. I know. Can you believe it? There actually is an incident that we will see one of these upcoming episodes where she said that she won't be in most of the episode because the producers threw her out of a competition.
Wow.
She got angry. She said the moms and the swearing and the fighting and the moms were getting on her about the girls being in class. And Abby said it's always been her intention for the dance and the classes to be the focus, and she just got ticked off. And something happened that we will see. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait
kicked her out of
to
the
see
competition,
it.
and she will be absent for almost an entire episode that we're going to see coming up soon.
Wow.
So
That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and an interesting idea if the show could go on without her or not, or what that would look like, and what she would do instead. And I mean,
I think Travis should step in.
Yes, I know Travis.
We like Travis.
Well, Abby said too that Lifetime is in errors on her payment, on her paycheck or whatever she.
Oh, they're not
yes.
paying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that could be something where if they feel that she went against her contract, maybe they're withholding or.
Okay.
So there could be more to this than she's even said, and we'll find out sooner or later because she always spills the tea.
Where will there be a season 6? We don't know.
And who will be there?
Yeah. So we finish up, late August, and then a couple months.
We never
and then,
finish up.
Yeah.
The show goes on and on.
No, and this because it's going to go all summer. And actually, this summer on ABC, you can flash back to the 1960s. This is so cool, you guys.
Speaking of hair weaves.
I know, right? At the time when America is racing to send a man into space and 7 elite pilots become the country's first astronauts. While these brave men hurtled through space on death-defying missions, the press turned the spotlight spotlight on their wives,
Yes.
following their every move. American audiences could not get enough as the husbands became heroes. The wives skyrocketed to stardom themselves.
I think this is super interesting because we always hear about Armstrong and all the men, but let's hear about what the women were doing.
Yeah.
So the special is based on a story from the best-selling book, The Astronauts' Wives Club is the story of the First Ladies in space. Through triumph and tragedy, they formed a friendship that has lasted 50 years, which sounds really interesting. The countdown is on to the fun and thrilling story behind the greatest adventure in American history. It may be one small step for man, but it was one giant leap for ladies in high heels. Yay!
Cute.
For America's Most Famous Wives, this summer, blast off and take the ride of a lifetime. The Astronaut Wives Club premieres tonight.
Yay!
So
On
they can
ABC.
tune in right after our podcast.
Right after. Turn it on, y'all.
Fantastic. All right. I guess we're finishing up. That's it.
Well, tell everybody where to find all your super cool interviews with the girls and stuff and all that jazz, both of you.
Yeah, well, my interviews aren't up yet, but they will be up soon. Speaking of that, I'm actually going to be out for the next 2 Wednesdays. I actually made a trip home thinking that we would be on a break like last year.
No rest for the dance host.
Yeah, so I'm going to be going over all of my interviews with the girls at the opening of the ALDC when I'm home, so you'll be able to check those out on my website.
Which is?
New mom, new wife, and new life.
That is a great name. I love that name for your
you.
YouTube channel. So my interviews are up from the ALDC LA. There was an interview with Mackenzie, Maddie, that's a combination of their names, and Kendall that is getting so many views and is really fun because they taught me how to do that little handshake that they do before they go on stage.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. So you guys check it out, JJ Snyder on YouTube.
Cool, that's fun. Well, everybody, please, I'm on all the platforms at Christy Reports, and check out ChristyReports.com for some juicy reality TV stuff. I've got some good housewives things there, so
Yes.
so check it out if you're a Bravo fan.
Yeah, you guys can tweet me at Candice_Camacho, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.
Adios.
Till the sun strikes, so raise up the bar. Lays a liquor crowds of rain. We're sick and sexy, acting insane. Feels like our last night on earth.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The music stuff here are those of the host only, not necessarily reflect the music after Buzz TV or anything different.